Dear students, the next topic in stoichiometry chapter is laws of chemical combinations. In the laws of chemical combinations, first law is law of conservation of mass. It was proposed by Lavoisier. According to him, matter can neither be created nor be destroyed. That means, according to Lavoisier, total mass in the reactants should be equal to total mass in the product side. That means, for example, according to Lavoisier, when hydrogen combines with oxygen, when hydrogen combines with oxygen, water is produced. In this chemical equation, according to law of conservation of mass, total mass in the reactants should be equal to the total mass in the products. That means every chemical equation should be balanced in terms of atoms. In this chemical reaction, hydrogens are balanced. To balance the oxygen atoms, it is multiplied with half. So, in this reaction, total mass in the reactant side is equal to 2 grams. Hydrogen total weight is 2 grams. Half mole of O2 indicates 16 grams. So, in the reactant side, total mass is equal to 18 grams. So, in the product side, in water, the hydrogen weight is 2 grams. Oxygen weight is 16 grams. So, total weight in the product side is equal to 18 grams. So, in this chemical equation, total mass in the reactant side should be equal to the total mass in the product side. That means mass can neither be created nor be destroyed according to Lavoisier. So, according to Lavoisier, every chemical equation should be balanced in terms of atoms. So, in this example, in the reactant side and product side, hydrogen and oxygen atoms are same. That's why in the reactant side, total weight is equal to 18 grams. In the similar way, in the product side, also total weight is equal to 18 grams. So, according to him, matter can neither be created nor be destroyed according to law of conservation of mass. Now, the second law of chemical combinations is law of constant proportion or law of definite proportion. It was proposed by Proust. According to him, a given compound should contain the similar elements in constant ratio by weight. Whatever it may be the source, they are produced. A given compound should contain the similar elements in constant ratio by weight. For example, when carbon combines with oxygen, CO2 gas is liberated. So this is the one of the source to produce carbon dioxide gas. When carbon combines with oxygen, carbon dioxide gas is liberated. So this is a compound. This compound contains one atom of carbon and two atoms of oxygen. So this chemical compound should contain similar elements in constant ratio. Here the ratio between carbon and oxygen is 1:2. Same carbon dioxide gas is also liberated on heating limestone. On heating limestone, that means calcium carbonate, it is converted into quicklime, CaO and CO2. So this is the another source to produce carbon dioxide gas. So, whatever it may be the source to produce carbon dioxide gas should contain 1 gram atom of carbon and 2 gram atoms of oxygen. So, their element ratio is fixed. So, this ratio is 1:2 ratio. 1:2 ratio. So, a given compound always contains the similar elements in fixed ratio by weight. If you express the carbon dioxide in terms of weight, here the carbon atomic weight is 12 and oxygen total weight is 32. In this CO2 also, but here the CO2 gas is liberated on heating limestone. So the similar gas is produced from different sources. So whatever it may be the source to produce a given compound should containing similar elements in constant ratio by weight according to Proust. So this is about the law of definite. Now the third law of chemical combination is law of multiple proportions. If two elements combines together, two or more than two compounds are produced. In those compounds, different weight of one of the element combines with constant weight of the other element shows a simple numerical ratio to each other according to Dalton. Law of multiple proportion was proposed by Dalton. If two elements combine together, two or more compounds are produced. In those compounds, different weight of one of the element combines with the constant weight of the other element bear a simple multiple ratio to each other. For example, when carbon and oxygen combines together, one of the gas produced is carbon monoxide, CO, and other gas produced is carbon dioxide. So, if two elements combines together, in this example, two different compounds are produced. Observe these two compounds. In these two compounds, different weight of oxygen combines with the constant weight of the carbon. Now, the oxygen ratio in CO and CO2 is simple numerical ratio. That means in CO, oxygen weight is 16 and in CO2, oxygen weight is 32. Therefore, the weight ratio is 1:2. So, according to Dalton, if two elements combines together, in this example, two compounds are produced, different compounds are produced. In these two compounds, different weight of oxygen combines with the constant weight of the carbon shows a simple multiple ratio to each other. So, in CO and O2, oxygen ratio is 1:2. So, this is about the law of multiple proportions according to Dalton. Now, the fourth law of chemical combinations is Gay-Lussac's law of combining volumes. That means law of combining volumes was proposed by Gay-Lussac. According to him, when gases combine or produced in a chemical reaction, they do so in a simple numerical ratio in terms of volumes if all the gases are measured at constant temperature and pressure. For example, according to Gay-Lussac, when nitrogen gas combines with hydrogen gas, 2 moles of ammonia gas will be produced. In this reaction, reactant side and product side containing only gases. In any chemical reaction, all the gases are measured at STP conditions. In this example, for nitrogen gas, number of moles is equal to 1. For hydrogen gas, number of moles is equal to 3. And ammonia gas, number of moles is equal to 2. So, this is nothing but 1 gram molar volume. 1 mole is nothing but 1 gram molar volume. 3 moles is nothing but 3 gram molar volume. 2 moles is nothing but 2 gram molar volume. That means gases are measured in terms of volumes according to Gay-Lussac. So 1 mole nitrogen gas is nothing but 1 gram molar volume of that gas, which is equal to, at STP, that value is equal to 22.4 liters. 3 moles hydrogen gas is nothing but 3 gram molar volume. That means 3 into 22.4 liters. Similarly, 2 moles ammonia gas is nothing but 2 gram molar volume. So 2 into 22.4 liters. Now, according to Gay-Lussac's law of combining volumes, here the reactant side containing only gases, product side also contain only gas. Now, gases are involved in the chemical reaction in terms of volumes. That volume ratio should be simple numerical ratio. So, for this example, volume ratio according to Gay-Lussac's law of combining volumes is 1:3:2. Now, this is the meaning of Gay-Lussac's law of combining volumes. According to Gay-Lussac, when gases combine or produced in a chemical reaction, they do so in a simple ratio in terms of volumes. That's why in the ammonia gas formation, in the reactant side and the product side, volume ratio is 1:3:2. So this is the another law which is involved in laws of chemical combinations. Now the next law is Avogadro's law. According to Avogadro, equal volumes of all gases under the same conditions of temperature and pressure should contain the same number of molecules or same number of moles. If all the gases are at constant temperature and pressure, if they occupy same volume, according to Avogadro, at constant temperature and pressure, the volume of the given mass of a gas is directly proportional to number of moles or number of molecules. 1 mole of any gaseous substance containing 6.023 into 10 power 23 molecules. So 6.023 into 10 power 23 molecules is nothing but 1 mole. So if the number of moles increases, volume occupied by the gas is also increases. If 2 or more gases, if they are at constant temperature and pressure, if they occupy same volume, now they should containing same number of moles. So volume and number of moles are directly proportional to each other according to Avogadro. For example, 1 mole of any gas or vapor at STP occupy 22.4 liters. So 1 mole is directly proportional to 22.4 4 liters according to Avogadro. If the same gas occupy 2 moles, so number of moles double. So automatically the volume occupied by the gas is also double. Now for 2 moles, the volume is equal to 2 into 22.4 liters. That means if the gases are at constant temperature and pressure, if they containing same volume, automatically they also contain same number of moles. That means same number of molecules. 1 mole of any gas or vapor at STP containing 6.023 into 10 power 23 molecules. So this is about the Avogadro's law. Now the next law is law of reciprocal proportions. It was proposed by Richter. According to him, the ratio of the weights of two elements A and B, which combines with a fixed weight of the other element capital C, is either same or simple multiples of the ratio of the weights A and B, which directly combines to each other. That means in this law there are three elements like this A, B, C. For example, this is hydrogen and this is sulfur and this is oxygen. Three elements: hydrogen, sulfur and oxygen. If hydrogen and sulfur combines together, H2S compound is produced. If H and O combines together, water compound will be formed. So in these two compounds, different elements, sulfur and oxygen, combines with constant weight of the hydrogen. So here A and B elements are sulfur and oxygen. And third element capital C is H, because in H2S and H2O constant weight is hydrogen, different elements are sulfur and oxygen. Now in H2S and in H2O, sulfur and oxygen weight ratio is, this is sulfur atomic weight is 32, oxygen atomic weight is 16. So weight ratio is 2:1. In between these two compounds, constant weight belongs to hydrogen, that is similar to capital C. A and B are sulfur and oxygen. So here in H2S and H2O, the weight ratio between sulfur and oxygen is 2:1 ratio. Now if these two elements are combined together, this is A and B. If these two elements are combined together, once again sulfur dioxide, other compound will be formed. In sulfur dioxide also, there is sulfur and oxygen, like in between H2S and H2O. So in SO2, the sulfur and oxygen weights are, sulfur atomic weight is 32. And O2 total weight is 32. So this is 1:1 ratio. So these two are simple multiple ratio to each other. That means H2S, H2O, SO2 follow law of reciprocal proportions. So if you want to explain the law of reciprocal proportions, we required three elements. Here in this example, those three elements are hydrogen, sulfur and oxygen. So in the first case, if H and S combines together, H2S compound will be formed. If H and O combines together, water compound will be formed. In these two compounds, the constant weight belongs to hydrogen. Now, the different elements are sulfur and oxygen. They combine together, SO2 is formed. In SO2, sulfur and oxygen ratio is 1:1, but in H2S and H2O, sulfur and oxygen ratio is 2:1. So these two are simple multiple ratio to one another. That means H2S, H2O, SO2 follow law of reciprocal proportions. So up to now, various laws of chemical combinations in language of chemistry is completed. Now the next topic is atomic theory. It was proposed by Dalton. According to him, atoms are indivisible and invisible. Of course, that is not correct according to Rutherford's theory, J.J. Thomson's theory, whatever it may be. According to Dalton's atomic theory, atoms are indivisible because atom is the smallest particle of an element which can take part in the chemical reaction according to Dalton. So, according to him, atoms are indivisible and invisible also. The atoms of different elements differ in their properties. If the hydrogen element containing only hydrogen atoms, those atoms' properties are different when compared with the oxygen atoms present in oxygen element. So, atoms of different elements differ in their properties naturally according to Dalton's atomic theory. And very important point is atoms can neither be created nor be destroyed in any chemical reaction due to reorganization of the atoms. Reactants can be converted into products in any chemical reaction. That means atoms can neither be created nor be destroyed because atoms are stable. And very important point according to Dalton's atomic theory is a compound is formed by the union of two or more different elements in a definite ratio by weight. According to Dalton's atomic theory, Dalton proposed law of multiple proportions. That means according to law of multiple proportions, if two elements combine together, two or more different compounds are produced. If two elements combine together, two or more different compounds are produced. In those compounds, the different weight of one of the element combines with the constant weight of the other element shows a simple multiple ratio to each other. So that means the compound is formed by the union of two or more different elements in a fixed ratio by weight. For example, ammonia, it is a compound. It containing 1:3 ratio of nitrogen and hydrogen. That means ammonia compound is formed by the union of one atom of nitrogen and 3 gram atoms of hydrogen. So, a given chemical compound should contain the different elements in fixed ratio by weight also. That means any compound is formed by the union of two or more different elements in fixed ratio by weight. So these are the postulations according to Dalton's atomic theory in language of chemistry. Very important point in Dalton's atomic theory is atoms can neither be created nor be destroyed in any chemical reaction. And atoms are indivisible and invisible also. So these two are the main assumptions in Dalton's atomic theory.